Hello, everybody. This is Edward Reyes. I'm an attorney and I also operate Jurex Bar Prep. And today I'm going to talk about the most difficult concept that I teach to bar candidates. And when you look at it, you're going to say, wow, that's very simple. How can people have a difficult time with understanding that? Well, I will tell you why. The first reason is because a lot of bar candidates come in with preconceived notions on what the bar examiners are looking for. And number two is because this is a new writing skill, and skills take practice and they take repetition in order to be developed properly. And I'm going to show you, I am going to share my screen so that you can look at this concept here. As I said before, it is very it's a very basic concept. Let me go ahead and share my screen. And this is from one of my ebooks here. It's called 1440 Advanced Counter Arguments. And I love this book. It's only 16 pages long. It's to the point. And this took me years to develop, you guys, but you could just see it here. You could just get the concepts here. And by the way, look at the description here. Um, my study material is very accessible, very affordable. So here we go. This is the concept here. So I always talk about including a counter argument in order to get a response of 65. By the way, do you guys like my background? One of my former students gave that to me. He's a practicing attorney now. Okay, so here we go. So it says here initial argument. So look how it says, and look, focus on how it says initial argument, and then right below it says counter argument. You guys see that? I'm going to move this to the side because there's some annotations here on the screen that pop out on Zoom. Now, look how it says element two is present because of fact two. Now, the concept here is to bring that same element, bring it down one notch to the counter argument zone. And there you just reverse it. If you say that element two is present for your initial argument, for your counter arguments, just say that it is not present. Very basic, right? Let's do an example from torts. Let's look at battery. Let's look at intentional offensive touching. Let's say that's our element. Somewhere along those lines. Let's not make this too complex. And let's say, hey, plaintiff's gonna say that they were on a train and there was an offensive touching because another person somehow put their hands on the other person. And I'm not gonna get into the details. This is just a hypothetical, just so you could get the concepts. So let's say the counter argument, bring the same element down, right? Bring the same element. Intentional offensive touching. So let's say the element we're discussing is intentional offensive touching. Okay. So the counter argument to that would be, well, there is no intentional offensive touching because when the person put their hands on the other person, person A touched B, it was done when the automobile, whatever it was going at an excessive speed and it hit a bump and the person almost fell, right? In order for them to protect or to avoid injury, they had to hold on to their hand or whatever to their arm. Okay, so now, right, we just have an element, we just negated it. That'll get you a 65 on the California bar exam. Why? Because we're using the same element, element two. And all we're saying is that element two is not present. We're making the argument because the instructions say, hey, look, we want you to discuss legal concepts and also tie it in with the facts. That's what the instructions say. If you do that, wonderful, you get a 65. Now, of course, I like to teach 70s, but for now, I'm just saying, hey, look, let's focus on the 65 answer. Let's focus on what the hardest part is. Now, I will tell you why a lot of bar candidates find that very difficult. One is because they're focused, many times, they're focused on how they would write for law school exams. Now, law schools, they grade you differently than in the bar exam. For example, in law school, they'll want you to issues, but how many issues did you get? Okay, great. I got these. I got that issue. I got that. Okay. For the state bar, they want you to focus on what I just said, analyze the legal concepts with the facts. And what does it mean to analyze? It means, well, thoroughly discuss it. What does that mean for the bar exam? Use a counter argument. That's how I get my students to pass with this formula right here. Okay, so that's one reason. And the second reason is because, again, this is a skill. Skills take repetition. They take it might take also the use of a coach if you want to speed up the process. Let me compare that to a skill from my own personal life. Dancing. Do I love dancing? Yes. If I haven't danced in a while, but when I would dance, and I remember I would look at a move and I would say, yeah, okay, just raise your right arm and then do a turn, whatever. Okay, so there's all these sequences. It looks easy. But then when you actually get on the dance floor, what happens? There's the environment that's going on, the music, the rhythm, the tempo, the ambiance of your partner. There's so much going on. Okay, her level of dancing as well. There's so many things to consider. Memorization, okay, you might get the first step, and the second step you might forget. So you see how it takes repetition, it takes practice. It's not as easy as it sounds. But if you want to speed up the process, then of course you hire a coach, and that's why there's dancing coaches, and that's why there's bar exam coaches to help with speeding up the process, make sure you are doing it correctly. Okay, so I just wanted to make this quick video. I do want to start making more videos, so stay tuned. Subscribe to the platform you're watching this on, and I am going to make more videos. I do want to help you pass. I am going to release a bar prep course very soon. Actually, it's bar tutoring that are accessible. I currently have programs that are very inaccessible because of my limited time that I'm working on that. I do want to share my knowledge and I do want to make it accessible to everybody. Okay, so thanks so much for watching. Oh, wait a minute. Let me go ahead and stop sharing my screen. Okay, thanks so much for watching. Until soon.